Want to start living your dream life one break at a time? Then this video is for you. My own year-long mini retirement is coming to an end, but it has been an amazing year. I have been able to check so many things off of my bucket list, from building this truck camper to driving it up to Alaska to even creating this YouTube channel. I have been able to do so many things that are hard to do while working a full-time job. Now, my channel normally focuses on building this truck camper and traveling in it, but this week's video is a little bit different. I recorded this video back in October of 2023 when I was only a couple of months into my year-long mini retirement. So this video is focused on the hows and the whys of why I chose to take a year off and why maybe you should too. Hi, thanks for tuning back in to Wander with Kate. I'm excited to have you here today, and today I really want to talk about mini retirement, sabbaticals, adult gap years, whatever you want to call it, but intentionally taking some time off as an adult in the middle of your career to recharge, to pursue other interests, to travel, whatever it is that you want to do. I have always daydreamed a bit about big travel, right? Long distance hiking, road trips that last 3+ months, traveling the world, things that don't fit so neatly in the middle of my career. So in 2018, I had taken about 4 months off in between jobs, and I had done a 3-month road trip and visited a bunch of national parks. And guys, it was amazing. It was so hard to come back to work after that. But that time off really didn't impact my ability to get another job. I was able to get hired easily and go back to work and continue on with my career. And ever since 2018, I had really been wanting to repeat this. There's so many benefits to that time off. A few years ago, I started hearing about the concept of a mini retirement. I'd heard even further back about FIRE, which is financial independence, retire early, and I would love to achieve FIRE. But honestly, as much as I love my career and I was working with great people, working for great people, had good clients, I work as a veterinarian when I'm full-time working. As much as that career had been a dream of mine, and as much as I was in a good or decent place, I was burning out on that career. I was finding myself more irritable. I was finding my passion for my job going away. And I could have kept working, but I wasn't quite at the level of FIRE, and FIRE wasn't even going to be something that I was going to achieve in the next 5 years. I'm working hard on it. I'm planning for retirement. But when I heard about mini retirements as a way to take a little piece of my retirement and have it now, I thought, you know what? There could be a lot of benefit to taking a break in the middle of my career, not just waiting and putting all of my retirement early and at the end of my career. Sabbaticals, they've been around for years, right? We've heard of university professors having sabbaticals, pastors take sabbaticals. Historically, a sabbatical, which sounds a lot like a Sabbath, right, is a year of rest once every 7 years. And that's part of what I wanted this year to be, is a year of rest. And it's part of what I want everyone to consider for themselves, is whether or not they can take a year of rest. But while a sabbatical is often a longer period of time, and sometimes you're lucky enough to have a year off paid by the university or by your church or by your employer, the concept of mini retirement is a little bit more available to more people because you're saving up for your own retirement and you're going to save up for your own mini retirement. And mini retirements, they don't have a set time period. So some people will take 3 months and call it a mini retirement. Some people can take a couple of years and call it a mini retirement. It's really about what is right for you. The concept of mini retirements is a little more recent. I heard about it first in a TED Talk, but the concept is often credited back to Tim Ferris's book, The 4-Hour Workweek. That's another great concept if you can manage to make it happen. But a mini retirement is essentially an intentional break from your career that can last a couple months to a couple years. It can help you recover from burnout, which was one of my big goals for a mini retirement. Allow you to pursue activities that can't be experienced while working. So big adventures, lots of travel. And then mini retirements, unlike a traditional retirement, are going to have a planned return to the workforce. A mini retirement is an opportunity to reduce stress and recover from burnout. Many of us work in high stress careers, and while burnout is not a medical diagnosis, Mayo Clinic does define burnout as a special type of work-related stress. It's a state of physical or emotional exhaustion that also involves a sense of reduced accomplishment and a loss of personal identity. Depending on the severity of your work stress, you might be able to fix your burnout while you're working. But for many of us, things like taking a mini retirement can really help reduce burnout and allow you time to recover. I personally feel like it took about 2 months away from work before I started to feel invigorated again and kind of back to my normal passion and energy after experiencing some of that burnout at work. And I'm hoping that I could get back into veterinary medicine at this point now without feeling that same loss of passion that I was experiencing prior to taking the time away. The mini retirement also helps keep your life balanced, right? By allowing you time to focus on your passions outside of work. You know, we all have passions and interests and things that don't correlate with our day job. But your day job takes a lot of time, and it's hard to find time for some of those other passions, for volunteering, for things like that, when you're working 40 plus hours a week. And so this mini retirement gives you a chance to invest in some of those things before you reach a traditional retirement age. You can also accomplish bucket list items, and I think that's what I focused on the most in the beginning of this video, is that you can hike your long distance hike, you can travel the world. You know, maybe you don't want to travel, maybe you want to accomplish a project at home, but you can do those things. Bucket list things are there. And so for me, I'm taking this time to travel. I am road trip to Alaska. It was amazing and an experience I'll always remember. I'm going to finish up some of my national parks, build a truck camper. It's been a good time. It's also, for those of you getting closer to actual retirement age, a nice way to test out retirement and try to figure out what you want to do with your retirement. They say that retirement can actually take years off of your life if you don't have hobbies and passions and things that you're doing. If you're just going to sit home and do nothing, it's not good for you. And so mini retirements give you a chance to find out what you enjoy when your world isn't focused on your 9-to-5 job or whatever hours you work. Some of us are working weird hours. They've actually done a lot of research on sabbaticals, and one rigorous study of professionals who took a sabbatical found that people largely experienced significant positive changes in their work and their life. So this mini retirement isn't just to figure out what you'll do in retirement, but can actually rejuvenate your career. In this one study, they had 50 interviewees that worked in a diverse sector. From consulting, design, finance, education, medicine, etc. They were in their 20s to 40s, both men and women, and they all held college degrees, and more than half of them paid for their own sabbatical. And overall, they really did feel like they gained better leadership. Their careers were better after having a sabbatical. So it's not just about developing yourself as a person outside of work, but it can actually positively impact your career later. And as more people take these gaps, I don't think you'll see much stigma attached to it, but do make sure that you have a plan for reentry into the workforce and that you will be able to get back in if that is the plan. Those are the benefits, right? But there's things you need to think about. So one is budgeting, money. How are you going to finance your year off or your 3 months off or whatever you're doing? For me, I'm old school. It was a big Excel spreadsheet, and it was knowing how much I was going to spend in a year, figuring out what my monthly expenses were at that point, and then how much the adventures and travel was going to cost that I was going to do, and then waiting till I had enough money saved up to do that. I was a little bit lucky that the housing market was good when I sold my house, and so I did make a profit there too to help finance this year. And when you budget, don't forget to factor in expenses like continuing to save for your long-term retirement, your traditional retirement, if you still want to take that on time. Taking a mini retirement could mean that you have to work longer, right? So if you take pieces of your retirement earlier on, then maybe you have to work till 65 instead of 62 or something like that. So just be aware that all of this impacts long-term finances. Have your plan for reentering the workforce. Make sure that you know what you want to do and how you don't have to know exactly which job, but just have an end date, have a plan, go into it, with a plan. Now, some people don't like to plan, and that's fine. Do your thing. But for me, there's a lot of peace in knowing that I have an exit strategy for when this year is done. But whether you're a planner like me or want to wing it, I do highly recommend that everyone consider a mini retirement, sabbatical, adult gap year, whatever you want to call it. I always thought that traveling and having some of that retirement piece would be better and easier when I had all my student loans paid off, when I was completely debt free, and maybe even when I didn't have a dog to take care of. But some of the most fulfilling adventures that I've experienced have involved hiking and backpacking and a lot of physical intensity. And I don't know if I'll be able to do some of these trips that I dream about when I'm 60 or 70 years old. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping I'll still be backpacking in my 70s, but I don't know, right? There's a lot of curveballs that life can throw at you. But taking a year off intentionally from work to grow yourself as a person can impact positively not only your personal life, but also the rest of your career. You don't have to wait till you're 70 years old to retire. You can take little mini retirements right now to enjoy pieces of your life that you might not be able to in years to come, but also that are perfect for your life right now, right? This you can take that adventure, become a better person, and still have an amazing career. So consider a mini retirement and drop your thoughts in the comment box below. It was nice talking with you.